And
just knowing that if it doesn't make you happy, that doesn't have to be your life, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like so many people subjugate themselves to a lesser version of life to make other people happy. And I refuse to ever do that because I know what I want and make your own reality.
I'm just gonna go ahead and create something over here.
Coming up on another app, I talk with Trevor Jackson about this most recent season of Grownish and Trevor Jackson, the singer, versus Trevor Jackson, the actor. So, Trevor, I want to talk about Trevor Jackson, the singer, versus Trevor Jackson, the actor.
Yeah.
How do you decide, what you gravitate towards as a singer versus how you decide what moves you as an actor? What's that process like?
So for music, it's very much internal, whether it's experience or just feeling. I never go into the studio being like, I want to make this kind of song and I want it to sound like this. I'm just kind of like going through beats. Ooh, I love the way that hit my soul. Ooh, I want to do this on top of it. It just kind of flows out like that. When it comes to projects, though, I typically don't like to do the same thing over again. Like if I had done something, because I think there's so many different types of human beings, and I want to try and play as many as I can. But definitely something with range and heart and triumph. I think the overcoming is something I always look forward to in roles that I play.
Wardrobe, that's me.
Any plans for your days off?
Just really hanging with my girls and possibly getting up with this guy.
Is it Nia?
No.
Now I see why someone had to come for jalapeno poppers.
Because it's close to our house and I'm hungry. Or maybe because it's close to Doug and you're thirsty.
They're investing in private prisons, Cal U. Everyone should be talking about this, and they're not.
Shut the whole city down when the game be flexing.
This is for your daughter. I can't tell him about Luna.
We got each other back, we don't need no protection.
It's poetic, but also very dark. Like a haiku of mistakes.
Whatever the mountain may be that I have to climb, I just like, showing whoever's watching it. That's how I am. When I feel like alone and scared, I put on a movie like The Matrix, or I put on Hercules or something that it, lets me know that, hey, I can get through it, and I want to provide that feeling to anybody that needs it. So.
Does one take precedence over the other for you? How do you balance the two right now at this point in your career?
Well, now because of quarantine, I have so much time. But even when I was filming all the time, just whenever I wasn't filming, I was in the studio. As soon as I get done on set, probably go to set at like 5 a.m., get done around like 6:30, 7 p.m., be in the studio till like 1 or 2, probably sleep for an hour, 2 hours, go right back and do it again. But yeah, I think they kind of go hand in hand in terms of inspiration, and the way I look at the world. I'm always trying to look at how can I tell this story, because not too many stories underneath the sun are new. But you can always tell them in a new way. So yeah, whatever touches me, whatever makes me feel just more ambitious about life, I feel like, especially with this quarantine thing, this pandemic thing, this civil, unjust situation that's been going on, it's very easy to get caught up in the just the negativity of it all. And so trying to just find escapisms for myself, which is music and creating content, but also finding things that can help bring people out of that funk as well.
How did 2020, maybe change you as an artist? I would think that musically, it probably inspired you to do some things you hadn't thought about doing, but also as an actor, it probably had you maybe rethinking how you navigate this town too. What was that like for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I watched a lot of things. I think this year, though, has been the most I've grown mentally. And, because I'm always on the go. I was always on the go. It didn't matter, even if I didn't have anything to do, I'd create something for myself to do. So now that I have all this time, I've really been able to assess my brain, my mind, my mental health, and the way I feel about things. When you're just always doing stuff, you put off that because you're like, oh, I got to focus on this. I got to do this. I don't have time to feel this. I don't have time to go through this. So I rush through moments a lot. And I feel like I've really been taking my sweet time now. If I go outside, I'm walking slower. And it's made me a better artist, and I know will continue to make me a better artist when I decide that I want to, because I direct on my music videos and come up with the treatments and things like that. But when I direct movies and want to write movies and write more music, it'll come from an even more I have more perspective. I'll be more stern in who I am, if that makes sense.
Who are you inspired by? Is there anyone's career out there that kind of helps you formulate your own blueprint and what it is you like to do?
I don't try to model it after anyone, but I do have people that I love, and I do often be like, oh, would they do that? Is this a project that you know, and the people that I do admire, they're all so different. They're completely different, but the one through line is they listened to their gut and they did what was right for them. And that's what I try to you know, run with. And that's what I want people are like, what message do you want people to take from whether it's a show you're working on or an album? I'm like, just go hard with what you know is you. Because there's gonna be so many people that are gonna try and tell you otherwise, but it's your life. So do what's right for you. Yeah, but in terms of people that inspire me, Muhammad Ali is one. Denzel Washington is one. There's so many people. Prince is one.
Yeah.
The list goes on. The list goes
The list goes on.
Will Smith is one. Yeah, just come on. We're here. Let's do it. I like doers. Do it.
You said Muhammad Ali. He's not an actor or a singer. So I'm going to imagine maybe it was the activism that inspired
the activism
you.
and the navigation and the affirmation he had in himself, like when he was talking, just even that. People think, oh, it's such a small thing to like, no, but speaking things over your life and believing in things. When you hear someone talk about something, if you feel like it's real and they believe it, you're going to have the door's going to be a little more open to try and see what that is. But if you're not feeling that and doesn't sound authentic, then people kind of shut off to it. So you have to believe in your message and what you're carrying heavily in order to make the impact that you want to make. So just the way that he carried himself, his words, and his resilience is inspiring as F to me. So yeah.
And what kind of what kind of impact are you hoping to make? And I ask that because I think, you know, people like yourself, people like Yara Shahidi, people are really looking at you guys as, you know, the mouthpiece of this generation, new voters, people who are paying attention to what's happening on college campuses, out in the real world. Like, what is it that you're hoping to contribute to the conversations that we're having right now?
That's a loaded question, but the first thing that came to mind was, you know, when you're born into the world, there's so many things that are branded on you, right? That are either they're traditional or they're you know, they're passed down. But to know that you have the ability to make your life and make your own reality is something that I want to spread. I love Matrix. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. But just knowing that if it doesn't make you happy, that doesn't have to be your life, you know? And I feel like so many people subjugate themselves to a lesser version of life to make other people happy. And I refuse to ever do that. And so many people, especially, you know, with social media, we're all trying to be a part of one thing, which is important, but can't be afraid to be yourself and speak up for what's right. You know, that's why when you bring up Yara, she has no fear in that. And you shouldn't if it's the right thing to do and if you believe it's the right thing to do. So I know I kind of rambled there, but there was a lot of stuff.
That was a good ramble. Come on now, it was a good ramble. Early in our conversation, you talked about writing and directing and being behind the camera. Where does that come from?
I love movies. I absolutely just love watching movies. I think of it like when I watch movies, good movies, I look at it how someone would probably look at the Mona Lisa or, you know, an architectural building that was just impossible. How did you know, because it goes from the directing to the acting, then it goes to the editing, then it goes to the sound design, then it goes to the composition, and it's all very layered. And when I'm making music, I'm recording my lead, then I'm doing my backgrounds, and I'm editing and doing all that. So that process of, oh, this should go here, this should go here. You know, I love that process. And all my videos, I've been editing as well, in the editing room heavy. Because it's the way that you see it, you know? When I'm doing it, I want it to be the way I look at the world, what makes me smile, what makes me laugh, what makes me feel pain, what makes me feel joy. This is the order it has to go in for me to feel that. And I know I'm not the only one. And that's how you get people who affect a certain, you know, whether it's a certain generation of people or a certain, you know, a cult classic, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
A certain type of people, because you're not the only one that feels the way you feel.
Yeah.
There's millions of others that may see the world the way you do, and they need someone to you know, amplify that, accentuate that, and put that on a bigger scale.
That sounds awesome. What is it like trying to get music out there right now during a space? I keep seeing every day somebody tweets out, my God, I missed the live concert experience.
Yeah.
I can't wait until, that happens, but that feels like a reality that is so far away for music lovers. What's it like for you as a performer, and what do you think is your best, guess about when we might expect to do this again?
I have no idea when it's coming back around, but I think,
Yeah.
Doing live performances is cool. For me though, in terms of making, my problem is I can't put music out fast enough. I already have the album after this album coming out done. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And I'm
Okay.
so that's kind of hard. And that's why sometimes I'll take chunks of not making music at all, because I'm just making it to sit. And when I make music, I'm making it now, how I feel now. And then by the time it comes out, it's like, I don't feel that way anymore.
All right. Well, new music soon. Love to hear it. Trevor
Can't wait to
Jackson,
hear
thank you so much. I can't wait to hear it too. I'm ready.